Legion Azrael, like always. We got some George Carlin over here. Suggestion from one the comments. So, War on Homeless. I've seen some of his stuff a long time ago, one or two of them. And I've seen maybe some reactors checking them out. But I haven't really watched a lot of George Carlin. But I know of him. I know what his messages were. But yeah, let's just get into it, check it out, see what it's all about. It's a good 9 minutes of hopefully funny. Let's go.
By the way, speaking of American values,
it's very loud.
Aren't we about due to start bombing some small country that only has a marginally effective air force? Seems to me like we're a couple of weeks overdue to drop high explosives on helpless civilians. People who have no argument with us whatsoever. I think we ought to be out there doing what we do best, gang, making big holes in other people's countries. I hate to be repetitious, but God, we are a warlike lot, you know? We can't stand not to be fucking with somebody. We couldn't wait for that Cold War to be over, could we? Just couldn't wait for that Cold War to be over so we could go and play with our toys in the sand. Go play with our toys in the sand. And when we're not invading some sovereign nation or setting it on fire from the air, which is more fun, then we're usually declaring war on something here at home. Do you ever notice that? We love to do that, don't we? We love to declare war on things here in America. Anything we don't like about ourselves, we have to declare war on it. Don't do anything about it. We just declare war on it. We got a war. It's the only metaphor we have in our public discourse for solving a problem. It's called declaring a war. We got a war on poverty, the war on crime, war on litter, the war on cancer, the war on drugs. But you ever notice there's no war on homelessness?
I don't usually pause. I would like to say I wish George Carlin was still alive to get against the SJWs of the world, the people that take advantage of the Me Too movements, all the social justice trash that's out there. He is what we need. Unfortunately, he's not with us anymore. He would be perfect for this point in time right now, whether it's Trump. If you don't like Trump, he hates all government. But all the people that just take it, you know, the Vic Mignogna, the voice actor for Dragon Ball Z Broly, accused and career destroyed, never charged, never found guilty. Social justice destroyed his career. Somebody like him is who we would need to just take these people and put them back in their place, put them back in their hole. Because these people have no facts. They just wage war for no fucking reason and destroy people's lives for them to get ahead. I wish someone like him would speak up and shit on these people.
Is there? Nah. No war on homelessness. You know why? There's no money in that problem. There's no money in that problem. Nobody stands, it's true, nobody stands to get rich off of that problem. You could find a solution to homelessness where the corporate swine and the politicians could steal a couple of $1 million each. You'd see the streets of America begin to clear up pretty goddamn quick. I'll guarantee you that. I will guarantee you that. Now, so, I got an idea for homelessness. You know what they ought to do? You know what they ought to do? Give the homeless their own magazine. Give them their own magazine. It would make them feel better, for one thing. That's a sure sign of making it in this country. Every group in this country that makes it and arrives at a certain level has its own magazine. You have Working Mother magazine, Black Entrepreneur magazine, Hispanic Business magazine. In fact, any activity engaged in by more than 4 people in this country has got a fucking magazine devoted to it. Skydiving, mountain climbing, snowmobiling, backpacking, bungee jumping, duck hunting, shooting someone in the asshole with a dart gun, jerking off. They probably have a magazine for that. I'm sure they have. I know they have a magazine. Walking. There's actually a fucking magazine called Walking. Look, Dan, the new Walking is out. Here's a good article, putting one foot in front of the other. Give them their own magazine. Give the homeless their own magazine. You know what you call it? Better Crates and Cartons. Then when they get finished reading it, they can use it to line their clothing. That's a good, sound business solution. That's the kind of answer you get from a conservative American businessman. So, yeah, let them read it. When they get finished reading, they can use it to plug up the holes in them piano crates they all seem to like to live in. A good, sound, practical, conservative American business solution. I'll tell you what they ought to do about homelessness. First thing, change the name of it. Change the name of the condition. It's not homelessness, it's houselessness. It's houses these people need. A home is an abstract idea. A home is a setting. It's a state of mind. These people need houses, physical, tangible structures. But where are you going to put them? Where are you going to build them? Nobody wants you to build low-cost housing near their house. People don't want it near them. We got something in this country, you've heard of it, it's called NIMBY, N-I-M-B-Y. Not in my backyard. People don't want any kind of social help located anywhere near them. You try to open up a halfway house, try to open up a rehab center for drugs or alcohol, try to build a little home for some retarded people who want to work their way into the community. People say, not in my backyard. People don't want anything near them, especially if it might help somebody else. Part of the great American spirit of generosity we're always told about. Big, generous American nation. Ask an Indian about that. Ask an Indian how generous this country is. If you can find one, you got to locate the Indian first. We've made him just a little difficult to find. Or if you need current data, select a black family at random and ask them how generous this country has been. People don't want anything near them, even if it's something they believe in, something they think society needs, like prisons. Everybody wants that, right? Everybody wants more prisons. That's the new answer to all of our problems. Lock a lot of motherfuckers up. Everybody wants more prisons. They say, build more prisons! But not here. Well, why not? What's wrong? What's the problem? What's wrong with having a prison in your neighborhood? Would seem to me like it would make it a pretty crime-free area, don't you think? You think a lot of crackheads and muggers and pimps and hookers are going to hang around in front of a fucking prison? Bullshit, they ain't coming anywhere near it. What's wrong with these people? All the criminals are locked up behind the walls, and if a couple of them do break out, what do you think they're going to do? Hang around? Check real estate trends? Bullshit. They're fucking gone. That's the whole idea of breaking out of prison, is to get the fuck as far away as you possibly can. Not in my backyard. People don't want anything near them. Except military bases. They don't mind that, do they? No, they like that. Give them an army base. Makes them happy. Why? Jobs. Jobs. Self-interest. Even if the base is loaded with nuclear weapons, they don't give a fuck. They say, well, I'll take a little radiation if I can get a job. Working people have been fucked over so long in this country, those are the kind of decisions they're left to make. I got just a place for low-cost housing. I have solved this problem. I know where we can build housing for the homeless. Golf courses. Perfect. Golf courses. Just what we need. Plenty of good land in nice neighborhoods. Land that is currently being wasted on a meaningless, mindless activity engaged in primarily by white, well-to-do male businessmen who use the game to get together to make deals to carve this country up a little finer among themselves. I am getting tired. Really tired.
Talking?
I am getting tired of these golfing cocksuckers in their green pants and their yellow pants and their orange pants and their precious little hats and their cute little golf carts. It is time to reclaim the golf courses from the wealthy and turn them over to the homeless. Golf is an arrogant, elitist game, and it takes up entirely too much fucking room in this country. Too much fucking room in this country. It is an arrogant game on its very design alone. Just the design of the game speaks of arrogance. Think of how big a golf course is. The ball is that fucking big. What do these pin-headed pricks need with all that land? There are over 17,000 golf courses in America. They average over 150 acres apiece. That's over 3 million acres. That's 4,820 square miles. You could build 2 Rhode Islands and a Delaware for the homeless on the land currently devoted to this meaningless, mindless, arrogant, elitist, racist. There's another thing. The only blacks you'll find in country clubs are carrying trays. And a boring game for boring people. Did you ever watch golf on television? It's like watching flies fuck. And a mindless game. Mindless. Think of the intellect. Think of the intellect it must take to draw pleasure from this activity. Hitting a ball with a crooked stick and then walking after it. And then hitting it again. I say, pick it up, asshole. You're lucky you found the fucking thing. Put it in your pocket and go the fuck home. Go the fuck home. You're a winner. No chance of that happening. Dorco in the plaid knickers is going to hit it again and walk some more.
Plaid knickers.
Let these rich cocksuckers play miniature golf. Let them fuck with a windmill for an hour and a half or so. See if there's any real skill among them. Now, I know there are some people who play golf who don't consider themselves rich. Fuck them! And shame on them for engaging in an arrogant, elitist pastime. Hey, here's another place we could put some low-cost housing. Cemeteries. There's another idea whose time has passed. Saving all the dead people in one part of town? What the hell kind of a superstitious, religious, medieval bullshit idea is that? Plow these motherfuckers up, plow them into the streams and rivers of America. We need that phosphorus for farming. If we're gonna recycle, let's get serious. Thank you.
That was pretty good. I don't agree with anything he said about golf, though. I don't find it super fun. I have watched it. When people that are good at it play, it's pretty interesting. I understand the fly comment. I kind of agree with that for the most part. It's like people that watch, or some people that like try to understand hockey. Sometimes hockey is absolutely boring. I've been to a bunch of games. I don't think it's elitist, really. There's a lot of people that like to play. I'm only nitpicking because it's, as someone that's not a huge fan of, say, golf, I don't play it. I haven't watched it in years. I don't really like it. But everything he said, I can't find myself going, oh yeah. I couldn't even find it funny because because I know who George Carlin is. He is the hippie, putting the flower in the gun. I am somebody that believes that you can or can't own a weapon, or war is, and it can be good and or bad or necessary, I should say. George Carlin's always, I viewed him as a man that looks at things in black and white, and that is completely opposite of who I am as a person. There is a huge gray, if not 98% of all things fit in the gray area. Black and white, not the people, but good, evil, or bad and good, or however you want to phrase it, kind of the same. Right and wrong. The black and white are very small, I believe, in the world. And when George Carlin says a lot of stuff, it is very much his personal view. He's an atheist. My dad hates George Carlin because my dad grew up Catholic, went to a Catholic school. My dad's also older, so that was the way of the world, specifically for his parents. Both of his parents were deeply religious as well. And I was telling my dad something that I saw from George Carlin, and it was about, I think, heaven or hell. I forgot what it was. He was talking about, I think, when he's talking about putting all the criminals and drug addicts and all that stuff in the, Colorado and all those areas of the states, and you put the fences there. He was talking about putting it on cable, and I think he mentioned religion in that sketch or another one. And I was telling my dad about that. My dad goes, "Oh, I bet you he believes it now," or I forgot how my dad said it, but he was like, "Oh, I bet you he's rethinking that now because he's dead, and he may be in hell or something. Who knows? Who knows what my dad was hinting at?" And my dad's not a fanatical religious person either. He's very not. He's just he believes in it. And so my dad has never been a fan of George Carlin because he is the typical hippie, his point of view, not what's right or wrong. I don't believe George Carlin would be a brave man if shit hit the fan. I don't remember if he was actually in a war or in the military, and that's what made him hate it so much. I can't actually remember. Social. It's black comedy and reflections on politics. I thought he was, but maybe he wasn't. I believe he was. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe this is something else I'm thinking of. Um, but oh, he's from Dayton, Ohio. A couple children killing. No, his early life doesn't say anything about it. I thought he was though, but I think that might be somebody else I'm thinking of. That was in the military, but he hated it so much that when he went into comedy or something, he shit on it. I don't know. I like George Carlin. I usually find a lot of the stuff he says funny, and I agree with some of the stuff like the homeless, and all of that kind of elitist garbage, because those people are real, and those people are just disgusting people. But he takes it to like a whole nother level when he talks like from his own personal belief. And when you get to your own personal belief, it's really hard for people to find you funny and or agree with you, because like he was saying, when people are not in my backyard, people are also that way when it's my belief or your negativity. I could come on here and I could watch I did a reaction to Bo Burnham about country music, and I made sure I added the part where I said I like the whole country life and the whole culture and stuff like that. I'm from Arizona. There's a lot of that in here, and that's all fine. I can't stand the music though. But if I would have been like, I gotta hate the music, it's just absolutely, and I got real serious, people would be like, people wouldn't like the video. People don't want to hear a stranger talk about what they hate, especially if it's something that they don't hate. Maybe if you're a huge Carlin fan, you can get past that. But I think for most people, they see George Carlin and they see a complainer. I think a lot of the stuff that he said, hell man, make that TV show Gates, and all that stuff like that, and put Bub Weiser on there because fuck them, and all the drug and rapists and pedophiles, yeah, fuck all those guys. Bury them under the prison or make them entertainment for the rest of the country. I understood where that's coming from, because that is categorically, you are garbage to be one of those people he named. But golf is a very universal sport, I think, for a lot of people. It's like NASCAR. If you hate somebody for watching NASCAR because you think they're, a Trump supporter, that is just insanely stupid, because there's other people that like NASCAR. And golf is the same. You may not like it. You may think that the elite play it, but there are people that aren't that way. And that's all I'm saying, is that he really just digs in on people and he just generalizes. And it's hard for a lot of people to get around it. I found out some of the stuff that he said funny. I listened to a lot more than I was listening a lot more than laughing. I found it interesting more than funny. But I'll always check out more George. If you want to link anything more, this was just one of those ones where he got real serious, and I found it a little harder to find things he was funny, or find things that he was saying funny, when he was just kind of generalizing. It's hard to find generalization funny. All these people, all golf people are elitist and racist, and it's like, no, that's not. I can't laugh at that, because I that's just not true. It's a bold-faced lie. Even when you're trying to be funny, it's just one of those things. I apologize to everyone watching this that think I'm taking it too seriously. I usually take all things, it doesn't matter how dark they are, I take all things funny. But when you generalize, I find that to be kind of narrow-minded, I guess. A lack of intelligence. And he's not. He's a funny guy. He's a smart guy. But when you just paint everything in this side, I hope you understand what I'm saying. I guess in my generation growing up in this, it's like if a black person robbed a convenience store and then a different black person 2 days later walked by the convenience store and then the police arrested him because he was just there, that is painting all black people as the potential to rob that store. And I don't believe that. I find that annoying. And that happens in real life a lot. He was doing a lot of this comedy. This is like a lot older. And racism and stuff like that was also a huge problem then as well. But as an adult now, I see a lot of that stuff in real life. Just painting all Muslims or all gay people or all the... And I personally am sick of generalizations. There needs to be cut and dry and separation from people that are bad, people that have made a mistake, people that should just be gone from the world. There's a lot of variation of garbage and good in this world, and I personally do not like generalization. And that's kind of what I felt that this stand-up was about. I don't feel like that about George in general. Link me more of his stuff. I'd love to check out everything he's done. I didn't expect to do a 20-minute video on George. I talked a lot. If you stayed at the very end, you can always throw that down below. Love to see and love to hear all the comments. Once again, my name is Azriel. Later, guys.